and the English letter A, B, C, D, all the way to F. So this is going to be the math system you're going to constantly see when we're doing programming in assembly. So definitely, please try to look up something related to hexadecimal if you're not familiar with them. And secondly, in this first lab, we're also discussing different type of memory, like says over here. So you can judge from here, there's 3 type of memory: EEPROM, SRM, and flash ROM. So you will need to have to take a look, what is the difference between this three type of memory, and answer that in your first lab assignment report. So I recommend you to go through your study into this kind of direction. First, you have to take a look the characteristic of these 3 memory type. Namely, the speed of the memory, the lifespan of the memory, and another thing that is very important is called a volatile. So if a memory is volatile, it means that once the memory is cutting out from a power, it no longer store anything that is previously stored. And that type of memory we call is a volatile memory. If a memory is non-volatile, it means that even though the power is cut off, it still stores something on the disk, just like the thumb drive we use right now. Even though we don't have any power to power the thumb drive itself, it still keep the data for you. So performance, lifespan, and volatile or not, using these 3 aspects to discuss what's the difference between these 3 types of memory. Okay, so after that, basically we're having some question related to the 2 concepts I just mentioned. Like for example, what is the space between these 2 addresses? These 2 addresses in hexadecimal, so we definitely have to take a look at hexadecimal before working on this one. And just how many on chip SM memory, so just kind of like things I have. And for the third one, familiarize you guys with the ISM assembler. I think we are at this step right now, running some sample program and testing if it's gonna work. So pretty much for this third part, you just have to kind of like showing you me what program you're using, and just leave me the file and to kind of like show, maybe leave comment of what you're seeing from the board to indicate that you actually have it done. And that should be all of them for lab 1. So as I mentioned, this is not going to be due this weekend because we're going to take a look in detail of this lab 1 and try to do it together in next Monday. So it's always good to have some preview, but don't panic or worry right now. The only thing you should worry right now is to able to set up your development environment for running the assembly program. If you're able to run any sample program, then I will say you're good to go. You're good with this week's schedule. Okay? So up to this point, anything that is not clear, or is there anything you want me to explain again?
Oh, how do you make it stop toggling? Do you just like unplug the USB, or do you click reset?
So if you want to stop the program, you can simply click on the reset button. It will just reset the program for you. Like here, like there's a button next to the board over here. It's called a reset. Once you click on it, it should just reset the whole thing and stop the current program that's running. Okay, so any more questions?
You said for that on switch, you want to keep the 1 and 2 down? I think
yes. So if you take a look, there's actually a 4 mapping option that is like kind of like printed up next to the switch button. So basically the white box is indicating where your switch is on. So you want to keep your board in EVB mode. So basically, if you face your processor this way, both toggles should be pointing down. And on your screen, it should say in the EVB mode. It's a little bit too bright for my camera to pick it up, but let me see if I can adjust the angle. But it should say EVB mode over here, like it's too bright for showing right now, but it should be saying like that. Okay. So other than that, again, any more question? Or go ahead.
I'm still trying to do the assembly part, but now I'm getting an error message that can't open the include file. So I've been copying the include file and pasting it a couple of times already.
Okay. So, but what about the path that you select for the file?
It's C user guest one desktop dragon 12p.
Okay. So if you already copy and paste, I think so let me just revisit this again, because I do believe that this piece of code, if you modify this part of their address, it might cause some problem. So the solution we have for currently is that we modified it back to its original state, which is C and this file. So to compensate that, you will need to copy and paste the .h file directly under your local disk C.
Yes, which I did.
Okay, and then also check again if your line is like this, because as far as I tell, your program is still trying to get the file from the desk, like the custom address. And also please make sure that you save the file and assemble it again, because you need to understand that whenever time we are sending the code to the board, in the executable, and once we've done any modification on the code over here, we need to assemble the whole thing again to make sure that we have the up-to-date machine executable, so the board can run without any issue with the latest information we offer.
Oh, you know what? I think I got it now. So I changed it. I made it short, and it's working right now actually.
Okay. Yeah. Good to hear that. At least working right now.
Then, do you have time to go over from here again, or not really?
Okay. So let's just stop your question for now. I can definitely run it one more time, but let me just see if other people have any question.
Okay.
If not, I will say that will conclude the lab section for today. If you have any more question, or if you're having the same question as this student, you want to take a look at the whole process again, you can stay in the Zoom meeting. Otherwise, this is the end for today's lab section. If you're able to have the working environment set up, congratulations, that's a good process. If you're not able to have it done, please sure to make sure you can have it all done by before next week, before our next meeting, because that will be this is very crucial that we can run the program. Then we can jump into our first official lab. Okay, so if you have no more question and you feel like you already set the environment done, you can leave your meeting right now. And unlike professor, I basically don't take any attendance, because I kind of feel like the lab section is very hard to tracking if you're actually attend or not. So you all pay for the tuition. I just want you guys to learn something from the class. So if you feel like it's interesting, you want to attend it, definitely attend it. If you feel like you can just use all the material that we offer to study by your own, that's definitely a valid option to you as well. I respect that. So I'm not going to take any attendance, but please pay attention. You do need to work on the lab to have all your assignment turned in, and your lab grade will be heavily depends on the assignment, the quality of the assignment you submit. Okay. All right. So if you have no question, please you can have a rest right now, and I'll jump back again the whole process to set it up for a certain student. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so if you want to connect me through email, I'm just going to leave my email again, just in case you don't have it. Okay, so this is going to be my email address. Please feel free to contact me any question you have, and through email. Okay. Right. So let's jump back to okay, so for the student who just asked me to jump back again, could you let me know from what step you're starting to struggle, or what step you want me to?
I had a problem with the include part, but I just resolved it because I made it short.
Okay.
And after that, do you mind explaining
Okay, sure. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
that should be quick. Okay, let me just close everything.